Okay, here we go. Number 6. We want to know the mean and the standard deviation of this normal distribution. Now, the mean is, if you remember, is right in the middle. So I just drew a line. You probably see it right there. So I know that looks like the mean is going to be 225. Now, that gives us, let's see, what do we got? Choice C, D, or E. So these two are out. Now remember that there are 3 standard deviations on either side of the mean. So we could divide this kind of into thirds. 3 standard deviations on this side and 3 standard deviations on this side. So I kind of looked at it this way. It looks like we're at 225, right? And it goes all the way up to, I thought this ended at about 425. So I subtract those and divide by 3. That would give us the 3 sections. Now when I did that, you subtract them and you get 200 divided by 3 gives us about 66.6 for each section, which is not a choice there, but I'm not exactly sure how they're getting this, but anyway, the closest one is 50, and that is the right answer. Okay, let's go to the next one. Here's number 7. So basically, they're noticing a correlation between beer sales and ice cream sales, which I don't really think that they go together. In fact, here's a pairing of which ice cream goes with which beer, which sounds dumb, actually. So anyway, but if we go through the choices, there's a correlation there, obviously, right, based on the data. And is it just random, or is there something else going on? So actually, as I read this question, I thought immediately, oh yeah, summertime. It heats up, people are buying more beer and buying more ice cream. That's how things work. And in fact, that was choice E. The positive correlation is most likely a result of the variable in temperature. That is, as temperature increase, so do the sales of beers and ice cream. So that's kind of what I thought in the beginning. But I did carefully look at the other choices, and it turns out that that is correct. The choice is letter E. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now, number 8, as I read the answer choices, so they're really getting into really the 5-number summary. So anyway, here's these IQ scores from randomly chosen 5th grade students. So I put them into list 1, and then I made a box plot for that. Remember, Zoom 9 gets it to show up, and I use the one that shows the outliers, and there is one on the low side. Looks like it must be that 96 is an outlier. Okay, we're looking for the one that is not true. So letter A says the student with the IQ of 96 is considered an outlier. Yes, that's true. Okay, that's not our answer. The 5-number summary of the 10 IQ scores is choice B is, okay, so remember, I don't have to figure all that out. I just go to stat and over to calculate, and it gives us all the numbers. It gives us the 5-number summary, and it gives us the standard deviation and the mean and everything. Okay, so that was correct when I looked that up using the calculator. Letter C, the value 96 was removed from the data set. The mean of the remaining 9 IQ scores would be greater than the mean of all 10. Yes, if we take that outlier out on the low side, it's going to move that mean up. Okay, that mean will increase because remember that outlier pulls the mean towards the direction of the outlier. So that's true. Letter D, if the values of 96, if the value 96 was removed from the data set, the standard deviation of the remaining 9 IQ scores would be less. Well, what I did is I just wrote down with all 10, right, the standard deviation. It tells you in the one variable statistics what the standard deviation is, and then I just removed it from the list and did it again. Okay, and it turns out that that is correct, which leaves us with choice E, and turns out after all that, the last choice is the right one, so they really make you go through everything. Sometimes I start with choice E because I know the people that make these tests are essentially evil. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. Okay, here's number 9. Here are a couple of dogs pre-washing the dishes. You know you let that happen. Don't even lie if you have a dog. Anyway, so let's see. The correlation between the amount of dishwashing powder in a box and how many times you use it. So, which one is true? Number 1, there is a high positive correlation between the number of days that have passed since the box of dishwasher powder was open and the amount of powder left in the box. Okay, well, the amount of powder left in the box is going down every time that you use it, so that would be a negative correlation. So 1 doesn't work. So now let's go to number 2. A scatter plot with days since purchased as the explanatory variable and the amount of dishwasher powder used. Okay, so I think that means total, as the response variable would display a strong positive association. Okay, so for each day that you are using the dishwasher, the amount of dishwasher powder used goes up. Yes, they are both increasing. Okay, so that's true. And then number 3, I really had to think about this one. The correlation between the amount of powder left in the box and the amount of powder used should be -1. Now, I thought that should be about -1 or around -1, but actually it should be exactly -1, because if you take 2 ounces of powder out of the box, then the box goes down by exactly 2 ounces. Okay, so that is a -1 correlation. Okay, so let's see. 2 and 3 are true, which is choice D. There's number 9. So this was actually a graphic from the General Social Survey, and they had a whole bunch of different years, but I thought this was interesting from 1974 to 2012. Generally, people can be trusted. Anyway, what they do here is they take 3,000 counties in the country, but they divide them up into rural, urban, and suburban. So they're divided by a certain characteristic, right? They're rural counties or urban counties or suburban counties. They have a specific characteristic that they're separating them out by. Remember, I always refer to as like freshmen and sophomore, juniors and seniors, selecting some from the freshman class. So those are stratas. It's a stratified random sample because you're choosing them based on a specific characteristic that they have. So the answer is D. Okay.